Do you hate doing laundry? Most people do. It's a monotonous task that never seems to end. Except for kids. Kids don't hate doing laundry. They just wake up and there's nicely folded clothes that smell amazing, ready to become more laundry. What's this have to do with writing children's books? Everything. And that's what we're going to talk about today in our writing tips. I'm going to give you 4 writing tips about writing books that have adult truths that translate into kid-friendly fun. That's right, so stick with me. My last tip's the biggest one. How do you write books that are marketable to adults, that are also fun for kids? Maybe that starts with a little laundry. That gets us started off with tip number 1. Start writing your children's book with a universally agreed upon adult feeling. You see, what you want them to do is say, me too. When you tell someone your children's book idea, you want them to nod. You want them to go, oh, yeah, I do hate laundry. Now, you got the hook. You got them interested. Tell me more. You mean other people hate laundry too? People like to feel connected. They like to have similarities. So if you got them saying, me too, then you got them right where you want them. So that's step number 1. Start with a universal adult feeling that could also be kid-friendly. Why don't my kids ever want to go to bed? Why don't my kids ever brush their teeth? Why don't my kids ever want to eat what I cook? They're so picky. They never want to eat anything but chicken nuggets. Hey, make a children's book. That's step 1.
I can't tell if this is corn or a banana. That baffles me. Is it corn or a banana? You tell me.
Now it's time for tip 3. Making your children's book relatable to kids. Making that problem, the adult-sized problem, a kid-sized focus. Because if kids don't care about it, they're not going to want to reread your book. It'll be a one and done. And that should be your worst nightmare. So, let's actually write a story about laundry. Because to an adult, a laundry seems like a never-ending task. But to a kid, maybe it seems like a monster. Now that's something kids can relate to. They might not be able to relate to doing laundry, but they can relate to a monster. And sometimes parents can probably feel that way too. They could be like, yeah, it's a monster. It's never ending. It's always growing. It seems like it's never satisfied. It's never full. No matter how much I do laundry, it's always there. For some weird reason, it always spits out that one sock. See how this is relatable? But kids can understand the concept because they understand monsters. They might not be able to understand laundry, but they get monsters. Now, the ending, the consequence. What happens if you don't feed that laundry monster? It gets too big. It grows so much, it could consume a cat, a dog, a video game system. Now that would be interesting. Maybe even the kid themselves. Okay, that's a little too dark. Don't do that. Don't have the laundry monster eat the kid. Or do it. That sounds kind of fun. Just don't tell people I told you to. You know, this doesn't just have to be about laundry. It could be just about anything. But with kids-based, how about hygiene? Taking a bath. Why do kids never want to take baths? Brushing their teeth. They never want to brush their teeth. It's disgusting. Washing your hands. Going to bed. Why is that always a surprise to kids? These are all things that adults can relate to, that kids understand. It's relatable to both of them, but you have to find a way to make the happy medium. What about school? Teachers. I was a teacher. Things that we want our kids to understand. Empathy, compassion, bullying, sharing. Or how about the golden rule? That's a big one. But to kids, it starts to sound very preachy, and that's something you never want to do in your book. You should never preach. You should always teach, but teach through experience by showing. Remember that show Don't Tell we talked about? It's pretty important. You should never just say, be nice. Instead, you should say, what do we do when being nice feels impossible? What does that look like to a kid? Do your laundry, or it's gonna stink. Well, to a kid, they don't understand that. Instead, they'll think, what happens if your laundry never gets done? What are the consequences? Show them through your book. See, because lessons come after connections. If a book sounds like advice, kids are gonna tune out. But if it sounds like something that actually happened to them, they're gonna lean in.
Hi, Mr. Bookworm. We're talking about writing books today. Any advice for everyone? Don't eat them.
The next step you want to do is identify what kids care about, because guess what? Kids don't care about laundry. I know you're hopeful, and you're just like, please, make a book where my kid will care about laundry. Well, they don't. But we could try to find something that kids do care about. You see, adults care about rules, outcomes. They want the lesson. But to a kid, they care about feelings, fairness, control. That's a big one to any kind of kid. They want to feel some control in their lives. The laundry monster, you see, it works because it doesn't... I just farted. You see, the laundry monster works because it doesn't teach kids why laundry matters. It shows them how laundry feels. It feels like a monster. So now we have what we call the sweet spot. But before I do, remember to like and subscribe. It's very important. It's important for me because I can make more videos. It's important for you because you can learn more. It's a win-win for everybody. So just go ahead and push that like and subscribe button. Okay, let's talk about the sweet spot. This is where we meet in the middle. It's where a kid looks in a book and says, oh, that's me. I can relate to the characters in this book. I actually see myself in the characters of this book. And they'll say, I know how that feels. If a kid says, I know how that feels, you've done a good job. Now, this is why it's so important to have childlike characters in your book. Even if you have an adult character, give them childlike vulnerabilities and problems. That's very important. Adults, they want to read a book and go, oh, you know what? This book is so true. I relate to the concept or lesson of that book. They have to feel somewhat validated in what the book teaches so that they want to read it again. See, at the end of the day, a book shouldn't just talk to the kid and talk to the adult. It should find the sweet spot and meet right in the middle. You know, I actually have a perfect example for this. I just finished a children's book called Billy Tart's Can of Farts. Can I tell you, I was actually a little scared to release this book. You see, it's a book about farts, and I kind of grew up. That was a bad word. That was my F word. It was a naughty word. You weren't supposed to say fart. So I was scared to release this book because I didn't know how moms would respond. But in the book, I have a mom problem. We have a kid that he farts irresponsibly. And she's, going through the store, and there's, how this is a mom problem that moms can relate to, shopping. And then look at all those farts. And of course, he wants to buy the farts when the mom says, no way, Jose. So our main character, Billy, takes it upon himself to do a little research and do a PowerPoint. Now, here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We have a mom-sized problem. Moms, my kid won't stop farting. Well, he farts all the time. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting annoying. He farts at the dinner table. He farts when it's inappropriate. What can I do? Well, I might have had a little fun with this, and I made it fun, and kids love reading this book. I can't keep this book off the shelf. And what's funny is, at the end of this book, we have our main character who he does eventually get his farts, but he doesn't fart responsibly. And he opens the SBD can, the silent but deadly. And you know what happens? He goes bald. You see, those are the consequences. And I had a little fun with the consequence because obviously this is very fictional. But moms can now read this book and go, you know what? If he would have farted responsibly, he would still have his hair. It's a book where parents can have fun and meet in the middle. It's exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's silly and fun for kids, but also moms can go, well, maybe we shouldn't fart like crazy.
You shall not pass gas. That's what moms say.
So, if you're stuck and you can't seem to write a children's book, well, just remember this. Start with something that adults care about, and then ask, how does that feel to a kid? Hey, join me next time. I'm going to be trying to release a video once a week just for you, so there's lots to come. So remember, like and subscribe. I'm Izzy B, children's book author and illustrator. I hope you learned a lot from this. More writing tips to come. Bye. For some reason, I have a huge collection of luchador masks. It's quite obvious I could never be a wrestler. So I don't know why I own them. Maybe just wishful thinking. Someone, you want to wrestle?